is the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS show with John Impemba and James Grande.
What is going on, FA Nation? John Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook Preview Show. We are here for Tuesday's 7-game main slate, starting at 7:30 Eastern Time, running out to the 10 p.m. hour here. So another full slate of NBA action for us to break down. James, we're sitting here, obviously recording on Monday evening. It's been a night. It's been an interesting slate, to say the least. Luka Doncic had a 20-point triple-double halfway through the third quarter. Chicago barely showed up to tonight's game. As of we're recording right now, Toronto is up 20, 30 seconds before halftime on Denver, starting a lineup that did not include majority of their top players. I don't know what's going on around the league, but I'm happy we can just look at this Tuesday slate.
I don't even know what slate you're talking about. Honestly, I don't know what you're even referring to, because the only slate I see is 7 games on Tuesday. So
that works. That works for me. Among these 7 games, we have the 76ers versus the Knicks. The Knicks at home giving 5. Washington against Memphis. Memphis getting 1.5 and a 218 total there. Pacers, Thunder at home giving 6.5, 236.5 total. Houston, San Antonio on a back-to-back on this one, getting 3.5, 224. Boston, Utah. Boston on a back-to-back. No, I don't see a total in that one. I don't know if you have that or not, James, but you can let us know. Minnesota versus the Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers are giving 6.5, 218. And then Milwaukee, Sacramento's our last 10 p.m. game. Sacramento getting 1, 235.5 total.
Yeah, nothing on the Boston front.
Which makes sense. A lot of guys were questionable going into Monday. Back-to-backs, we know there will certainly be guys sitting out in that one. We know Horford for sure will be sitting out. We'll see if anybody else ends up sitting in that. So let's just get into it. 7 games to talk about. Point guard position, SGA at home against Indiana at 10-5. Feels pretty good. Brunson at 93, Fox at 91, Halliburton at 9K. Those are your top 4 price point guards.
Yeah, point guard's a pretty loaded position here. Now, Philly, New York running it back in the lowest total ever recorded, and the
73, 79 wasn't entertaining for you?
They had they put out a stat. Every single player in that game went under their scoring prop in the sports books. Every single player, not one singular player in that game went over. So I can only imagine it's going to be a little better than that. So if you do want to run it back to Brunson, you can. Obviously, SGA in a great spot. SGA might be in even a better spot. Jalen Williams listed questionable. He left last game. So, all systems go for SGA. Fox has been great. Milwaukee's defense has continued to get better, but De'Aaron Fox has been rock solid pretty much every night except Houston. Halliburton, disappointing game against Orlando, I'd say, given the fact that there was no Jalen Suggs in that one, and they still played really well. He just didn't play really well. He had played well the 2 games prior. I don't think, I don't know. Maybe this is just what he is for now, a 9K player with the acquisition of Pascal Siakam. That's just what we're going to get out of him.
He's also just not hitting his threes, right? Like over 6, 3 for 10, 2 for 7, 1 for 6. If he could just hit another 2 threes, like he was, 40% 3-point shooter and not a 20% 3-point shooter, some of these numbers will look a lot better. I agree with you, though. The 9K price tag feels pretty good with him there. Below that range, again, Lillard, Maxey, Harden in your 8K range, Van Vliet, Vassell rounding out the 7K guards. Anything there for you? I mean, Van Vliet versus San Antonio maybe at $7,900.
I mean, I like Dame. I would not skip past Dame. He's coming off 2 monster games in a row, both double-doubles. The shot's starting to fall for Dame, which has been kind of a concern. The minutes have been great with Doc Rivers as well. So I definitely have interest in Dame in a fast-paced environment against the Kings. Tyrese Maxey, coming off the concussion. Harden might be playing without Paul George and Kawhi, both listed questionable. So Harden is definitely in play in that case. I know it's Minnesota, but they're also dealing with a bunch of injuries, and they haven't been as good defensively without some of them, and definitely Van Vliet, no Şengün. So yeah, I do have a lot of interest in that tier.
Yeah, agreed. The no Şengün thing for me, the offense obviously then runs back through Van Vliet instead of Şengün like it had been, for sure. Mid tier range again. We'll see what happens with Boston here. There's Derek White, Jordan Poole up to 67, Keontae George 65, Tyus $6,200 in the 6K tier.
Yeah. The Vassell thing is interesting because Pop came out and said he's not sure if Wemby's going to play the second leg of a back-to-back. So Vassell plays, he's interesting. The Boston guards, if Holiday's in, they're interesting if anyone's out. If it's just Horford, probably not. They're secondary plays at best. Jordan Poole continues to be good, except for the last game. The spot is like kind of gross. Memphis is playing so slow. It is like obviously you can score on them. So if Jordan Poole gets it going, he gets it
Yeah.
going. Memphis is just so bad. I mean, no Jaren Jackson. So I just it's a really bad game overall.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the matchup is kind of tough there for sure. Value guards for you? Anybody popping off? I mean, we got Giroux here up to $5,200 out of nowhere. He had 32 fantasy points, had 10 rebounds. I mean, this is the state of Memphis, isn't it?
Yeah, Goodwin listed questionable. That's an improved tag. He was doubtful last game, so obviously we'll have to watch for Goodwin. But yeah, Giroux, if he starts, I guess I mean, this is like
I say it as a joke, but like it's painful at this point with Memphis, right?
It's a little early in the year for this, but kind of has to, it is what it is. If the Clippers are down a bunch of guys, they played Terrence Mann 30 minutes the other day. So that's the thing. McConnell broke the slate over the weekend on Sunday. He always has that in his bag. And that was not blowout. That was just TJ McConnell being TJ McConnell. And then OKC started Case and Wallace in the second half of that game with Jalen Williams going down. He played 27 minutes, had 22 actual and 34 and a half fantasy points. So if Case and Wallace, he's typically been their just like default starter, basically, unless it's been Chet out. So if Jalen Williams sits, definitely have some interest in Case and Wallace.
So obviously, as we were recording, starting lineup for Celtics just came out. Peyton Pritchard is starting for Drew Holiday, who was ruled out. Say Pritchard draws another start here against Utah. Would you give him a look at 4,800?
If the same like type, if there's people out, sure.
Yeah, I mean he's only starting if people are out. So
yeah,
I mean,
sure.
If there's people out. Shooting guard position, Edwards 97 with the questionable tag there. Jaylen Brown 8K. Jalen Green $7,800. Colin Sexton up to 73. Josh Hart now shooting guard, small forward eligibility for our guy. The GOAT eligibility for Josh Hart. DUDV down to $6,900. Thoughts on the top half here?
I mean, I'm good with Edwards. I just assume he's going to play. The minutes have been insane. I mean, this is a pretty tough stretch for them because they need to win games to keep their seeding, and they're doing it without Towns. And they have to play all these games on the road at Indiana, at Cleveland, at the Lakers, at the Clippers. Both these last games in LA are going to be obviously conference foes, the Clippers coming for them. So I assume Edwards plays. Shoulder pain is an interesting one because now he's not listed with an ankle. It's been the ankle. Now he's listed with the shoulder. So that just means, I mean, that pretty much tells me he's going to play because like
it's not his legs.
I mean, he played through a ankle that looked like he broke it and then just played the next few. And now we're just past the ankle injury. And now, so he's the Wolverine. He heals with Wolverine blood. He's going to play 40 minutes in competitive games. So I'm good with it. And obviously, if there's no George, no Leonard, who's defending one Anthony Edwards. So I love Edwards. Jaylen Brown, if he plays and nobody's, or if people are out, obviously, even if there's not, you can get the Jaylen Brown. Vassell, Jalen Green is interesting for sure. No Şengün. 7,800 though is steep.
Yeah,
Sexton, and he's fine. 73. He's gonna play a boatload of minutes and take a boatload of shots. So
agreed. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we know that the offense is going to be there for him. Other guys in the mid tier, what are your thoughts when it comes to Monks here, Clarkson, Oubre? You mentioned Giddy, recently. The minutes for him again started to trend back down, but I don't know. No Jalen Williams. Maybe they shift some things around. He's still been very good. I mean, 40 fantasy points in 19 minutes is just ridiculous for the guy. What are your thoughts when we get to some value here?
yeah, that is ridiculous. I mean, like, impossible to predict the minutes, but the production's been really good. So if you want to go there, 5,600 in any like excess time on the floors would obviously be too cheap. Tournaments only. If guys are out, Norm Powell, I mean,
Yep.
21 shots, 31 minutes, still played off the bench, didn't matter. 26 and 7. Great play there. I'm interested in what the Rockets are gonna do with Şengün out. I could see them starting Amen Thompson
I was saying
here
Jabari at the 5,
and
right?
Jabari at the 5. That would be the no Cam Whitmore. Like Thompson's minutes just seem pretty secure at 4,900, and obviously we'll have to wait for the starting lineup. But it's only slate locks at 7:30, so 3 games locked before it. We should have a pretty good indication what their starting lineup is going to be. But San Antonio, what's San Antonio's starting lineup? Sohan at the 4. Sohan's 6'8", 6'9". Like
Yeah.
they can run a smaller lineup out there with Amen Thompson. So 4,900 for Thompson makes a lot of sense.
Agreed. Then obviously we've talked a lot of these other guys. San Antonio, we'll have to see who's in or out for them. And some of the other value that's down here. So when starting lineups come out, more news breaks throughout the day, like we'll have a better idea where we're going to go with some of the value on this slate here. Small forward position. Jason Tatum's up to 97. Again, we'll talk about whether or not that's worthy depending on who's in or out of that lineup. You talked the Clippers guys being questionable. Jalen Green now shooting guard small forward. That feels relatively new now.
Yeah, it's new for sure.
Yeah. Toby 77, Siakam 73, Denny at 7K.
What do you got in that tier? Well, like what's your I don't have like a good read.
I mean, I like Jalen Green. Obviously, we talked about him at shooting guard. Denny, I mean, he's solid, right? And there's definitely some pop when he gives us a fuller game, like we got to hear.
No Holmes is questionable. If Holmes is out, more likely to click Denny because like
The rebounding,
they'll need him on the glass.
maybe. I mean, 3 of the last 4 games, double doubles.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
14 rebounds with Holmes in that
yeah.
game
So
too.
I kind of like Denny at 7K here.
Yeah, me too. The minutes have been super, super steady in this for
Agreed. 7-game slate. A lot of these guys we've talked about already. Jake LaRavia, 25 minutes for him the other night. 24 minutes continues to produce. $5,200. Could be some value. You've mentioned Norm already. Kispert entered the starting lineup with Kuzma. Knocked down all of his shots this time around. Didn't hit him the last time he started, but 39 minutes, 8 of 15, 5 threes. We say it all the time, right? He's a live for 5 guy when he's in the starting lineup. So if we get him in the starting lineup at 5K, could certainly see us running back there. Jaden McDaniels, is going to play a lot of minutes here for Minnesota. So what are your thoughts for some value small forwards?
Dude, Memphis, it's one of those games because they've already ruled out Vince Williams.
Yep.
Goodwin's questionable. Concher's questionable. They've already ruled out Jaren Jackson.
Yep.
Lamar Stevens is questionable. Lamar Stevens has been playing like 30 minutes a night for them.
Mm-hmm.
LaRavia started the other day, and I mean the only reason he played 24 minutes is because they just went to the bench. They went to and he's been great, dude. I've played him like 4 straight slates.
Yeah.
I played him in the OKC game. Obviously a little disappointing, but like almost got you to 5x just because the steals have been really good. The peripheral stats have been good. He's been making shots, which obviously kind of evaded him earlier in the year. That's why he's shooting 37% from the floor on the year. So I think he's kind of, if like these guys are out, kind of close to a must play. Memphis is they're dead to rights against Washington, which is crazy to
Yeah.
say, but like it's Washington, insane pace up spot, terrible defense. There's gonna be intrigue. So Laravia for sure, Kispert for sure if he's starting. I assume they go back to the Rashawn Holmes starting lineup if Holmes is in, but
Yeah.
if Holmes is out, we saw it. Like you said, they started Kispert.
They may not, right? What have I guess we're expecting Jemison to start at center.
Yeah,
in this spot, right?
probably.
So,
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
yeah.
But you never know because they've also explored with Lamar
Santee,
Steven. It was
Lamar Stevens,
Steven.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different routes. The McDaniels play is definitely interesting. They started NAW the other day. NAW went nuclear. I mean, 15-7, 5, and 2. 39 minutes is
Yeah.
ridiculous. We know that anytime he gets extended, like there's a chance he has a big game. Gordon Hayward played 18 minutes again.
No
Saying,
Jalen Williams now.
maybe no Jalen Williams.
Maybe if there is no Jalen Williams, do we think that they extend, or is 18 minutes the cap? Because 3 straight games,
Yeah.
18 minutes, like they are definitely taking me like getting him to the playoffs,
Yeah.
right? Like get Gordon into the playoffs, and then we'll see where he is. So
Yeah.
could be interesting spot for them there. Anybody else for you at small forward?
No.
Okay. Power forward position then. We talked already. Tatum, Giannis is here at 11-5 against Sacramento. Would have to assume super popular play here on this slate. Given the matchup and everything that comes with that spot there. No knock on Kuzma at 8K would be an elite spot for him coming off 52 and 56 in 2 of the last 3 games here. I mean, we talk about it when they're in some levels of competitiveness, he just goes ridiculous.
Yep.
And AK is just not a accurate price tag for him. So Nas is up to 7K.
Should be
52 and 44.
He should be.
Are you comfortable just plugging at 7K if the status remains the same for Minnesota here?
So you're saying if Gobert and Anderson are out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gobert's in. Do you pay 7K for Nas Reed?
Gobert in and Anderson out?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think the difference is Anderson's starting, right? If he plays, if he doesn't, do they just move McDaniels to the 4, or do you think Nas starts? Because dude, he played 42 minutes. He had the double block against Anthony Davis on that single possession. It was just insane. And like he's made 12 threes in the last 2 games. Like
I want the Shaq meme. Like I was not familiar with your game, right?
Like 7K is obviously expensive, but if status quo for sure, if it's just Gobert and he's starting for sure, we're not gonna know. We're not gonna know. It's 10 p.m.
Yeah, there are multiple 10 p.m. games on the slate, so you could build it in a way that you leave yourself
a
little leverage to maneuver, right? Milwaukee
with a lot of news, and the 10 p.m. Minnesota LAC game has like 7 pieces of news,
right? So like you could definitely give yourself a little room to play with there, but I mean, he is just right now just on a level. Obviously Jabari, right, against San Antonio here. If there's no Wemby, I mean, that feels like a great spot. We've seen this year already without Şengün and Jabari at the center. So $6,600 certainly in a good spot. What else are you looking at when it comes to the mid tier of power forward? Would that put you back on Keldon at 6K with no Wemby, or like what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean the Spurs would just infinitely be more interesting. Vassell probably bump up. Sohan and Keldon's bumps. Where did they move? So what is Sohan? Small forward, power forward, 59. Okay, so I just was like not paying attention. Keldon, Sohan for sure. They're right next to each other.
GG Jackson's right there, 56 too.
Yeah, him and Aldama, 61. This tier is interesting. Aldama 61, Keldon 6K, Sohan 59. Obviously, the Spurs guys, I would say more contingent on Wemby being out.
Sure.
And then G Jackson 56 for sure.
30 actual and 38 minutes for GG.
He is like, obviously he had a bunch of tough games in a row, but you can just see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are times that he gets going and he gets going, and he started in that game.
Yeah.
So if we know no Jaren Jackson, so it's just all dependent on what they decide. But no Jaren, no Vince. Like their best two players that have been still playing are not there. So you have to assume Gigi Jackson and Laravia continue to start.
So Keegan Murray is questionable here. Would we get Monk in the starting lineup, or what do you think they do with Murray out?
Duarte, probably, where you go Harry B at the 4, Duarte starting. I don't think it would. I don't think, Trey Lyles. I think I'd be way more likely. Also, Trey Lyles finally power forward eligible. I haven't seen that like forever. I would be way more willing to play Trey Lyles than I would Chris Duarte. I almost have zero interest in Chris Duarte.
I would not play Chris Duarte at all. Would you play Harrison Barnes at all, or no?
I still think that obviously that opens up minutes. I don't know. I probably not. I'd rather probably just play like Obi Toppin or something. The first game, Mountbatten Matherin, 25 minutes, 17-8 for Obi off the bench. I just feel better about Obi Toppin than I would Harrison Barnes. Not that I feel great about either, but just
no, I like the Obi Toppin call for. I mean, we're looking for under 4K plays here, and then you mentioned Lyles. Jay Crowder's obviously been starting. That's probably it.
Yeah, I just looked at Otto Porter. Shout out to Otto Porter. He retired. Salute to the Utah Jazz legend, Otto Porter.
Yeah. All right. Wemby is 10-6. Again, we don't know if he's going to play or not. Sabonis is 10-4. As you can see, there's a lot of red on the screen at the moment. Most of the centers at top price are out for this slate. We'll see if Porzingis is in and Horford is out. 7,700 Porzingis versus Utah feels pretty nice. I understand what you've said. Like, they're not going to ramp him up too much. Once again, Denver gets the 35 minutes.
It was we pointed out, like both times Denver has been the only times he's top 32 minutes or whatever in the last couple months.
But he could go for 50 here against Utah.
For sure.
At 77.
Sure.
So.
Do you think, I mean, this is a pretty tough back-to-back, like not necessarily opponent, but going to Utah. We've talked about this a couple times. Like Brown's been apparently dealing with the pelvis, although it hasn't looked like it. We know Horford's not going to play the back-to-back. Nope. Tatum even popped on the injury report. Derek White even popped on the injury report.
I think it depends on how this game goes today.
That's fair. Because it feels if like the most live spot for Boston to rest somebody when they have like a 9-game lead in the East is a second leg in Utah.
Yeah, agreed.
But who knows? I mean, Missoula doesn't care. Missoula just will play them until they.
And Tatum doesn't want to sit. So
Tatum doesn't want to sit.
So he's there. You have Chad at 75.
Good spot.
Again, now no Jalen, right? We'll see. Possibly no Jalen Williams. We'll see whether or not he's there or not. Where else are you looking at center here?
I don't know. Paul Reed's been really good. I don't know if we need to go there. Even in that game against the Knicks, he was really good. Off the bench seems just more comfortable for Paul Reed. 44, 31 fantasy points. Random power forward eligibility too, now that I'm noticing this. So I guess that's something. I assume we get Zubats being extended here with the bigger Minnesota front court, like especially if Gobert's in.
Mm-hmm.
Been pretty good in each of the last 2 games. It's good to see him also play 25 and 26 minutes on a back-to-back because he got like benched for Plumlee a couple games ago or for Tice a couple games ago. So that's interesting. Lamar Stevens, if he plays, they might start Lamar Stevens. I mean, he's been playing big minutes, 29, 30 minutes. They might start Lamar Stevens if Rashawn Holmes is out because they would just go small. Like that would just be small ball on small ball. Yeah, I mean, we'll see, but I could see that being the case. Jock Landale, I have a hard time even looking at 4,800 and wanting to pay that. Like, even if
he would have to be in the starting lineup. 4,800 is too much. 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 4,800 is too
I know, but do they? I guess like a case can be made for him because no Shingun, no Eason, no Whitmore, right?
Yeah,
Like there is a case, I guess, that
they
he's in
need
their top.
Jabari as the power forward, right?
Yeah, and he's in their like top 6 potentially. Because I mean, who else is like actually in their rotation? Jeff
Yeah.
Green,
When did
Jayshawn
he?
Tate.
Let's see. Let's popcorn. How many minutes did he actually get once he came into that game? Where's Houston? Houston,
He played
Landau.
17 minutes, so like he was fine. He played.
Yeah. So wait, when did Shingun get hurt in this game? The end?
He played a lot. I think Shangun played a lot of minutes in that game.
He did. He did. He was until the final 30 seconds of that game.
Final 30 seconds then.
So those games were, yeah, those minutes rather. Landau came in the 3-minute mark, 4-minute mark of the first quarter and played all the way into the 5:30 mark of the second. So like he is their just legitimate regular backup center. Coincides with Shingun the whole way. So I guess so. I guess there's some real minutes here for him potentially. If he starts, I think you kind of have to play him at 4,800.
It's for sure a consideration because we'll also, I mean, on the flip side, he'll be matched up potentially against Zach Collins,
Yeah.
who's 58. There's the Rashawn Holmes 47. I think Rashawn Holmes would be a great play if he's
Yeah.
starting. I mean, dude, Rashawn Holmes has been really good in the starting lineup.
What if
36
Jemison
minutes.
starts?
He's so bad. Like he is. It's like
I agree. I'm just asking.
like from a fantasy point per minute standpoint, it's just like not good. Also,
Okay.
like there's been his spot starts have come at like 3K as opposed to 4,100. What if here's a curveball? What if they also have Wayne Gabriel who
I
played
saw that.
21? He played
Yeah.
21 minutes last game, so I mean everything. It could we just might not know what Memphis is gonna do. Fortunately, it's an 8 o'clock game. What if what if Porzingis injury is real?
Mhm.
We know Horford's not playing and Zinger's out.
Yeah.
Cornette is probably. Do you think they would start Cornette or do you think they would start Tillman? And does it matter? They might just split time. Who would you rather play?
Cornette probably.
Dude, Cornette's been good.
Yeah.
That's why I was kind of surprised they went out and got Tillman. But you
Yeah,
even
and
said
then
they were
they
playing him at power
played
forward.
Cornette over Tillman the other day. So like, yeah, I was gonna say I could definitely see that happen. They're looking at Porzingis like, dude, don't even worry about Houston, like or Utah rather, in Portland. We'll get you when you get back home, sort of thing. So
Right.
yep, I'm in agreement with you there. And then Lyles, as we mentioned, dual position eligibility at 36. Would you play your guy Luka Garza again?
No. Again, for context, John said again. I played him on Showdown, and
He was everything you needed him to be in that showdown.
that was fine. Yep, got him. He was $100 or $1,000, so he was fine.
All right,
5x, maybe.
Let's build a lineup here.
Not with Luka Garza.
Not with Luka Garza. I agree with you. I kind of want to go Giannis. What do you think? Giannis is set up, or you want to go fair and balance here?
I'm definitely good with Giannis. I'm also good with like SGA as a spend up. I'm good with Sabonis as a spend up. I'm good with a fair and balanced.
You're just good, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick right now, and I knew Jalen Williams is out, I would say SGA. Okay. That would be against Indiana. I know it's Neesmith defense, whatever. Does not matter. SGA is going to cook.
My cat will not leave me alone during the show today. Let's see here. All right, so SGA is in then. Shooting guard. Where's our Memphis guys here? We like some Memphis, Utah. So Laravia,
GG.
GG. Yeah, that's good. Laravia, GG. Shooting guard 57. I think we just go Norm anyways here at this point.
I was gonna say Amen Thompson, but
yeah, works.
We could play both. I mean, either guy.
Yep, that works. 6,200. What was our center play here? We talked obviously Landale.
I mean, we could always play like I think Holmes is the play if he's in.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know what Memphis would do to stop him. And he played 36 minutes in a game where
Okay.
he started. So like,
We'll plug Lindale and then move the Holmes if he's in.
or I was gonna say play Holmes and leave $100 on the table for Landon.
Okay.
Like
That
either
works.
it doesn't.
7K. So this could be Nas Reed here.
Yep.
If you wanted to pay it, or
Yeah.
Denny, who we did also.
Yeah, both.
Actually, we can play them both. We have 7K remaining.
Yep.
Double plug.
We would just have to move some money around to like a Jabari Smith from like Denny or Nas. If
He was starting.
Holmes is out,
Sure.
yeah, and then it's an easy pivot. Jabari 66 is.
It is. All right, so this is our SGA lineup. SGA, Powell, Laravia, Jackson, Holmes, Thompson, Denny, and Nas Reed for everybody there. We'll have the playbook out per usual, middle of the day for you all. And we'll be back live at 5 p.m. Eastern time to get you all ready for the rest of today's slate with all the latest news and happenings there. If you have any questions, find us in the Discord. Toss a like down on the show. Helps us out a lot, and we will see you later.